Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Scenes with Shiv. In last week's episode, I talked to you about how you can create the perfect script. In today's episode, I'm going to give you 3 tips on how you can produce that script. So let's go behind the scenes.
And action!
Okay, before I get into the tips, I just need to get one thing out of the way. When you have a script ready, you got to make sure about 2 things. Number 1, your script is registered. Go online onto this website right here and get all the details you can to register your script. You have to make sure that the script is your own intellectual property before you start showing it out to other people. Secondly, and most importantly, you have to make sure that your script is top-notch. It's perfect. You've got to make sure that your script is completely out of the box. It's different. It's something that people haven't seen before. Nobody wants to see the same thing. Okay, so with that being said, let's move on to the tips. Tip number 1, and this tip is actually closest to me. This is something I would recommend you all to take. That's why it's so high up the list. Start working in a production house. You can start off in a production house as an AD, you can start off in a production house as an intern. It does not matter. You could be working in a movie production house, you could be working in an ad film production house like myself, or you could even be working in a production house that just deals with online content. But as long as you're working in a filmmaking production house where you guys make video content, you go through scripts, you read scripts, you review them, you will understand how scripts are actually made and how the process actually works. Work in a production house, make your contacts over there. You can either get your boss to produce it eventually, or you can have a good enough network to get it produced on the outside. But that's tip number 1. It's possibly my favorite tip. Work in a production house, build your network, take it from there. Tip number 2, use social media to your advantage. Go onto LinkedIn, go onto Facebook, and find all the production houses and all the studios possible. Then list down the executive producer, list down the creative director, and email them a synopsis of your script with the first 3 pages. Do not mail your entire script. Nobody is going to read your entire script. They want to make sure that you can write. Even if you have the best story, the most interesting story, when you email your script to somebody, they want to make sure that this writer can actually write. The producer should be able to flip through the first 3 pages like a breeze. So make sure your first 3 pages are really strong, it's really tight. Send them a synopsis of your story, and then if your script is really out of the box, you will at least get a meeting back. Tip number 3, fund a trailer. This one is genuinely thinking out of the box. If you have a really good script and you want to show it to the world, you show it to them visually. Produce a trailer of the script. Make sure that your trailer is tight, it's exciting, it's energetic. Pick out the best parts of the script, put it together, write a whole new script for the trailer of your actual film, and produce it. You could either get your business partner to produce it, you could get your family to produce it, or personally I recommend you trying crowdfunding solutions like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Fuel My Dream, Wishberry. Use one of these platforms to get your voice out there and secure funding for your own trailer. If your script and your plot is good, your trailer will get funded. As soon as you have your trailer ready, blast it on Facebook, blast it on Instagram, blast it on Twitter, tag all the hotshot producers out there, tag the Karan Johars of the world, because trust me when I say this, everybody scrolls, everybody watches, everybody looks. They watch. Their people watch. They've got teams who are watching stuff. Best case scenario, one of them sees it, they're going to be like, interesting stuff. You know what? I'm going to get my people to contact him. Worst case scenario, you know what? He could have done better. It's like reached me, it's on my page. His fans, his friends all tweeting about it to me. But it's not so good. You know what? At least you got your piece of content out there. That's a start. If you do get that call, if it does get approved and you do have a meeting with the Karan Johars of the world, that's a whole different ballgame. That's when the actual journey begins. But I'll save that for another episode of Behind the Scenes with Shiv. So let's go through the top 3 tips today. Number 1, work in a production house. Number 2, use social media, get all the contacts, email everybody a synopsis and the first 3 pages of your script. And number 3, produce a trailer of your script. This is the best way to get your own script produced. Let's move on to some questions. Being Vivan, Aryan asked me, how do I start an internship in a production house after high school? Well, Vivan, it's simple. Use social media. Look for the pages on Facebook. Email the executive producers. They are the people to talk to because they are the ones who will interview you and hire you. And it's not just about your CV. If you've just studied, you don't have work experience, they want people who are hungry, who are willing to work, and most importantly, if you're willing to learn. Lord. Sankey_4RVR230 asked me your favorite romantic movie. By the way, I've been getting this a lot from you guys because last week's episode I told you all how I hate romantic films. But if you really want me to give you a cheesy rom-com, then I would say either Notting Hill or 2 Weeks Notice or even Jerry Maguire, because you complete me. That is why I'm going to see you on next week's episode of Behind the Scenes with Shiv.